Scared people scare the shit out of me. That's the subject for today, is how do you deal with scared people? How do you deal with your own fear? How do you overcome your fears so that they never mess with you again? That's the subject of today.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of greatness class with your host, Trevor Crane, my daddy. He is going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
You're supposed to make me sound cool. Here's what I want you to get out of today's show, is how to never have fear again. Or if you have fear, how you can overcome it as fast as possible. And also a really important one of how to deal with other people who are around you who are operating from a place of fear. Because recently, my wife and I and my daughter and our little 4-month-old son decided to take a trip from Florida to New York. And it drove me insane because I had to deal with some people, and I'm going to try not to name names here, that were scared to death. And these people were so scared that it made it awkward and uncomfortable, and it's really made it an awkward experience. It made it an awkward experience to plan our trip. It made it an awkward experience to communicate with them and schedule what we were going to do and where we were going to go and how things were going to work. And it really just pissed me off. And it reminded me of how badly I get scared of scared people. Like if I see somebody driving down the road, and I'm sure you've seen this, I'm sure you've been with people who are scared of drivers and they white knuckle it and they sit really close to the steering wheel and they're anxiously looking around themselves. I remember when I was a teenager and I've maybe been 14, 15 years old, and I was sitting in a car with one of my friends, and her mom was driving the car, and something was just confusing. Like I couldn't figure out what was wrong, but she was a white knuckle scary type of driver, which was always scary for me. But I remembered it was odd because I almost started getting motion sickness. Like I started to sway forward, then sway back, sway forward, sway back, sway forward, sway back. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I looked around and I was trying to figure out why was I swaying forward and back? My friend's mom had one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake, and was constantly riding one or the other, one or the other, one or the other. And she was one of the most scary drivers I've ever been with. If you've ever seen a scary driver on the road, I'm more scared of the person who is scared in traffic. I will pull the fuck over and just wait for them to go beyond me, or I will accelerate as fast as possible to get past them, because they're freaking dangerous. Because people who are making decisions based in fear, you have no idea what decisions they're going to make, because it's not based on reality. It's not based on logic. It's not based on a reactive reaction of what they should consider what the best choice is and whatnot. No, they're making a decision based on fight or flight. And oftentimes, just think about it for yourself, like how dangerous this is when you make decisions based in fear. So let's think about it. Let's say you have a big decision to make, an important decision, maybe one that could affect the rest of your life. And this could be about something that's seemingly small, whether or not you should go talk to the girl, whether or not you should apply for the job, whether or not you should start that new business. And we can belittle these things and not see them as an important decision, make it as important as they are. But you're facing an important decision, and maybe you think it's a big decision, and maybe you think it's a small decision. But you have two places you can come from, and I just want you to imagine this for a moment. One time you're facing this decision, and you are basing the decision based on fear. You're not sure, you're a little scared, you're nervous, you don't know if it should be right, you don't know it's going to be wrong, but you need to make a decision, and so you make a decision. Now here's my question for you. What are the odds you made the right decision when you're making the decision based in a state of fear? Versus the second situation. You're facing this situation, you're very concerned, you're not sure if you should go right, you're not sure if you should go left, you're not sure, and you're facing it, and you are making it from a sense and a state of absolute total confidence and certainty. Same situation, same decision to make, but one, you're basing it in fear, and you're standing there in a state of fear, and one, you're standing there in a state of absolute total confidence and certainty. Which state are you more likely to make the right decision? Are you more likely to make the right decision when you're basing it in fear and I don't know and I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I got to make a decision? Or are you making it from a state of absolute total certainty? Not that you know what the right choice is, but that you are confident and certain in yourself and that you are guided and you know that one way or another you're going to make the right choice. Which one are you going to make the better choice? And so my question for you today is, where in your life are you currently making decisions that are based in fear? Because we're all making them. And I was scared before I jumped out of a plane. But on the other side of fear, we have freedom. On the other side of fear, you have oftentimes the greatest joys in life. When I was scared as a junior high student and I had this long hair mullet, yeah, I did. It was completely disgusting. And I'm standing on one side of the gym and we had a college dance, high school dance, junior high dance, and all the girls were on one side and all the guys are on the other. And I had to walk across that vast void to potentially be laughed at or made fun of by my own guy friends or the chicks on the other side. It was a scary thing to do, but the joy that I had on the other side was I got to dance with the girl and kiss the pretty girl. But we get scared. We get scared all the time. When I was in football and I was scared, I was like one of the smallest guys on the damn team. And I was scared to tackle the biggest dude on the other side. When I just faced my fear, on the other side, I tackled that bastard. And it wasn't ever as bad as I thought it was going to be. When I was traveling for the first time and I was on my own and I was 20 years old and I was traveling around the world, I was scared to buy that plane ticket. I was scared to get on an airplane. I was scared to get the passport. I was scared to go. Where would I go? Who would I see? I was scared to death. But yet what I found on the other side was the ultimate freedom, that I was never going to be alone, because I never really felt alone when I traveled alone. The biggest fear I had was what came before. When I actually was on my trip, all I had was fun. When I was snorkeling for the first time and I was out on this reef all by myself and I was in Fiji and I was still that 20-year-old and I saw this shark. Oh my God, I saw this little shark and I was scared to death. And I came home after that trip and I used to tell the story to chicks in bars to try to make them think I was cool, that I was out snorkeling off the coast of Fiji. And I used to tell the story about this time that I saw this shark. I came to find out when I became a scuba instructor and started doing this thing that the shark that I was scared of was like a little puppy. Like I was telling a story, like it would have been difficult for me to catch this. If I had caught the shark and tried to hurt myself with him, I would have had to jam my finger down its throat and move my finger back and forth on it a lot to even cut myself. But for a while, I was scared. I was scared, petrified of this fear. See, fear is not real. I want to share with you a quote that I got from Will Smith. I love it in the movie that he put out with his son. I'm going to share that with you here. Hold on, listen to this.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity, Qatar. Now, do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice.
So that's from the movie After Earth with Will and Jaden Smith. And I love that movie. I love that quote. I love the lessons from that movie. And I want to give you the daily quote of the day. It's going to be a Will Smith quote. You just heard it. Fear is not real. Fear is a choice. And now I have a challenge for you. I want you to look at your own life and think of, where is the fear? That's the first thing you got to do. Where are you currently making decisions that they are based in fear? Where's the fear for you? Then my challenge for you is to face it. I want you to, if you can't face it today, then I want you to take one action today that commits you to facing that fear and moving you forward so that you can get through it. If you want to never have fear again, I highly advise that you just, as you find your fears, choose to face them. You're going to find so much freedom and so much joy. God placed the best things in life on the other side of your fear, on the other side of your terror. On the other side of your maximum fear are all of the best things in life. And if you don't believe that yet, then it is time for you to look in the mirror and face those fears and then make them your bitch. So that's it, all I have for you today. Oh, and by the way, if you find scared people that you have to deal with in your life, get freaking move away from them. You know, if they're on the road, move away from them. If you've got friends and family and people that are around you that are making decisions based in fear, it is contagious. Fear is contagious. You need to move away from that shit. And you can still love them, you can still honor them, but you need to go ahead and extricate yourself from that situation so that they are nowhere around, so that they can't hurt you. That's all I got for you today. I can't wait to see you tomorrow on another daily dose of Greatness Quest. To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.